Welcome to the Love and Victory Show with Val, where we will bring you candid conversation. In each conversation, we will talk about real life ups and downs while tackling unresolved matters. We will also unmask issues and truly speak straightforward and candid about our needs and brokenness, while allowing ourselves to exhale so that we can become victorious. This is a place where you can be open to the possibilities of living life in abundance while gaining tools to become bold and complete. So let's get to it. Nicole, tell the people about you and who you are and how did you get here to Houston and then on the set of the Love and Victory Show with Val's podcast?
That's a lot.
I know, girl. Come on with it.
Well, I am Nicole Odom Hardnett. I am a mother of 7 and with one wonderful grandson. I am a wife. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an author. I'm a business owner. I moved here from Maryland almost a year ago. I have a behavioral health facility. I actually have 4 locations in Maryland.
I think what stood out to me that I loved is the blended family book, the author. Let's talk about that. That's how we connected.
Yeah. So I'm on podcast guest.
Yes.
And that is how we connected. I was on one of your shows, and so we've been speaking ever since.
We've been speaking literally ever since. I think what I liked about you that stood out, and I guess I told you to tell your story, but now I want to take over, is that your story was, even though it's something, there's so many blended families out there, but your story was so unique that it just kind of just drew me. And in the book, I just think you have something to say, you have something to share, and there are so many relationships out there that are blended families.
Yes.
And that especially we as women struggle with how to navigate through that. And I think she's definitely someone that you can talk to. And can we talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
Okay, let's talk about that blended family a little bit. I mean, I'm all over the page because I'm so happy to have you sit here. And I also want to show just don't compete and don't compare. Mm-hmm. Yes, this may be my platform that we're on today. We're not competing, nor are we comparing. You just have something that I want to make sure that we get out, and there's definitely someone that can learn and hear something from you. So can you tell us a little bit about?
So I work with people in blended families. As I said, I have a blended family of 7. I did write a book that is loosely based on my life and my blended family. So I just thought, my book is called Blended to Perfection. Mm-hmm. So Blended to Perfection is, I thought everyone should know a little bit about me, the author, before they learned about my journey in my blended family. Mm-hmm. My blended family, those of you know who are in blended families, they can be something special. Let's say that.
That's a good way of putting it, right?
Yeah, something special, that's for sure. So it wasn't always peaches and cream. I think a year in to this blended family, maybe a little bit before that, it got I saw the turbulence coming. Mm-hmm. And it was very tough for me. 3 girls, 4 boys total, and an ex-wife. Yeah. I mean, I had an ex-husband and a baby daddy, mm-hmm. But the ex-wife threw me for a complete loop and put me in some situations that I never thought that I would be in. Let's say never thought my personality would allow. Let's just say that.
Yes.
And it brought the oldest daughter into a sticky situation with me and her father, and it caused a lot of drama inside of our house. And the drama went on because the ex-wife was not happy with the new living arrangements and the marriage between myself and my husband, and she was pouring her information into this child.
And the reason I brought that up, without you feeling the need to go into that, is that, again, those are things that as older women, we don't realize we're affecting our younger daughters,
Right.
which makes our daughters tend to get involved in areas that they shouldn't have to, because we're teaching them right there to compete and to compare.
Yeah, we as little girls, we try to emulate our moms and grandmas and aunties so many times by walking in their shoes and their heels, or maybe putting on their clothes or their lipstick. And sometimes that spills over to what we see in the community, whether it be on social media and magazines. So we sometimes try to emulate other people, and we're looking at other people and their lives.
And thinking we need to measure up next to it.
Exactly.
But I guess the question that the thought that I have on that, why women and not men? Or do men, would you say men are the same way?
I think some men are the same way. That, I think most people are the same way.
They just see something and they want to one up, or they want to be, okay. All righty, well, we're going to say here that we don't compete, nor do we compare. We may get something from each other that I like. And when I think of you and meeting you, I instantaneously saw things that I absolutely could connect with. I also saw things that, okay, I can learn something from her. Never at any point did I want to say, I want to compete. And I think that comes from a person being okay in their skin. Yes, you can like something about a person or admire something about a person without feeling the need to compete.
I completely agree. Everything is not a competition with people that you meet or you see. I think once you get to know someone and what they're doing, you should either try to step your game up.
Yes.
Or you should definitely try to take some pointers from the things that you're doing and how you can do them better. Instead of trying to compare yourself or measure up to them and say, how can I, do something or one-up them.
Right.
And so many people try to one-up people so often in life instead of trying to see what you're doing.
Figure out where you're at. Figure out where you're at and where you're trying to go. It's kind of like my dad used to say all the time. He says, you're going to do one or two things. You're either going to become the company you keep, or you're going to learn something from the company, or you're going to fail with the company you keep. I'd rather be in good company that I can learn something from than to be in bad company where I'm going to fail and go down the road that they're going down.
That's so true.
And we're going to kind of start off with the conversation with women competing against one another. So if we take that, I know, right? Okay, would you say that the trend of women being in competition with each other is relatively new, or has that been going on through history?
I think it's been going on through history, but I think now it's just all the time. It's something. I'm so glad you said.
I agree with you, because it's really, even though it was something probably there before, now it's just in your face.
It is.
Everybody most women are just constantly on this thing of competing, and I think it has to do with a lot of social media.
Right. It's like, if you do this, okay, well, I'm going to do
this.
That.
And if you do that, I got to go up and do this.
Right.
When I don't think that they even realize it really shows that's what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
It doesn't look like you're doing something authentic. It really looks like you're copying.
Exactly. It sure does. Instead of you pulling together and working with your sister or whomever, or your brother, it just looks like you just showing off.
It really does come off that way.
Right.
Why do you believe that some women feel the need to present themselves as if they are on the higher pedestal than others. You know, like I'm up here and you're down there.
They need attention.
Mm.
That's
just plain and simple.
Plain and simple. They not getting enough attention at home. They didn't get enough attention when they were growing up, or someone didn't tell them that, hey, I love you.
Oh, with that being said, don't you think a lot of that comes from feeling the need to compare and compete, comes from them feeling empty on the inside? Not getting that I love, or those affirmations that you're okay in your skin, or it's nothing wrong with you, you're beautiful, or hey, I know you can do this job.
That's right. That's right. And that's what it all boils down to. That whole need for attention, those likes.
God.
Those God-forsaken likes.
Oh, they need to change it to something else.
Something.
Because they don't
something
mean
else.
nothing.
It doesn't. And, I will be so happy when people realize that you don't need other people's satisfaction or gratification or attention from other people for you to feel worthy, to be whoever you are, whoever you want to be, whoever you're trying to be. It comes from within. You need to feel worthy. It's you. It's not anyone else.
Well, what do you believe is causing this kind of attitude besides social media, besides feeling empty? Is there anything you can say that you think is causing that?
I would say the music that we listen to, some of the movies, the TV shows, the news.
Okay, good. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Because I think that, when I think of the music, I think that there is a lot of music out there, and it's been coming for a while. I don't think that's just something that's happened over the last 5, maybe 10 years. It's been coming for a while, where it's such a degrading of women, and then when we went to the videos, a woman didn't really have much thought behind being in a video that made her look less than. She just felt like she was out there and she's getting her name out, and she wanted the hype or the likes that wasn't there.
I know some women may do the videos for attention. Some of them maybe do it for the money and not necessarily the attention.
Probably not, yes. Okay,
or
I agree.
Maybe the hopes in doing it in order to get another gig.
Okay.
Or something like that. I'm hoping that all the women who do the videos don't just do it to get the absolute attention.
I don't think that when I say that, I'm not necessarily talking about, because there are some videos out there that are very good and they're done very tasteful.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about some of those videos where the guys have the women grinding on themselves, kind of doing explicit stuff on themselves. I agree with you. I don't think that they're doing it. All of them are doing it for attention, but they have to know that it's either going to be good attention you're going to get or bad attention.
Right.
And when you get that, maybe I'll get some frowns for this, but I'm going to say it. When you get that producer saying this is what you're going to have to do at this part of the song or at this part, and you know that it's something that's going to be degrading or belittling, you would hope that we would say as women, no, I'm not going there. Or do you think that they're in it for the money, they're needing to pay a bill, and they're just...
I think when they hear what they have to do, some of them are saying, hey, I have to pay a bill, and if someone is going to have to do it, why not me? Why not me? Why not I get paid, and maybe this will lead to something else. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking that the thought is behind it.
I like that analysis of it. I mean, I'm not here to to debate whether that's wrong or right, but I can definitely see that.
Right.
Because I don't think that we as women are naturally women that will be disrespectful and dishonor ourselves. I don't think any woman wants to come out the gate doing something to dishonor
that they
herself.
would absolutely say, okay, I'm going to do this, and
it don't matter.
It doesn't matter. I think that, at least I would hope that you would say that, okay, this is not going to be a lifelong thing. I'm doing this because of XYZ, but I want to get to the next level.
Okay, kind of like, oh God, I don't know why it's taking me there, but I'm going to go there. Kind of like those that decide to go and strip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that any one person that ever decided to strip just said, I'm going to make a career out of this.
Right.
I think that they probably thought they can get in and get out.
Yeah, it was that. I think that they probably thought it was easy money. I'm going to do this to get my car, my bills paid until I go to school or do whatever I need to do, and then I'm done. I think that for most of them, for at least for the people that I know who have done it, that was their goal was to do that and be out.
I don't know what made me go there, but...
And I don't knock anybody's hustle.
I don't.
At all. If that's your thing, then that's your thing. Do what you need to do, but don't make sure that you get in and get out. And you stick to your guns.
Stick to your goal. And don't make that
That's right.
Because after a while, just like that get old, we get old.
That's right.
And, and then they move you on to another club, right?
That's right.
Okay. Wow, I don't know why that went there. But again, don't compete and don't compare. How that jumped in, I don't know.
Right.
But I think it in line.
The Love and Victory Show with Val is brought to you by L&V Enterprise Resources Incorporated, a nonprofit equal opportunity provider for people living with disabilities. When you donate to L&V Enterprise Resources Incorporated, not only are you helping someone further their education, acquire job skills, and find a job, you are also doing your part to create a stronger, more diverse, and inclusive society. L&V also provides resources for counseling for the disabled and their families. To find out more, or if you'd like to make a donation, please visit lverinc.com or call 832-336-0126. Once again, that's lverinc.com or 832-336-0126. With L&V Enterprise Resources Incorporated, the possibilities are endless. Let's explore them together. VK Consultant Group is a proud sponsor of the Love and Victory Show with Val. Are you thinking of starting a medical practice and need some help? Well, VK Consultant Group has been awarded Top Medical Practice Consultant Service of 2020. For over 3 decades, they've offered services like concierge medicine, credentialing, billing, revenue cycle management, and so much more. For more information, visit vkconsultantgroup.com or call 713-893-7401. Once again, that's vkconsultantgroup.com or 713-893-7401. VK Consultant Group, your competitive edge.
Have you ever been on the receiving end of someone needing to do something better than you? And how did that make you feel?
I'm sure.
I know you have.
Yeah,
I know you're just trying to hold back.
I'm sure that I have. I don't have a lot of people in my circle. I'm trying.
Probably when we were younger.
Yeah, it would have to be when I was younger.
Because we're more guarded about our circle now. So to think of something like that right now, it's probably more likely that it won't happen than it will. But definitely probably coming up in our younger.
Right. It would have to be when I was way younger because I don't let many people know what I'm doing. I don't let people in my circle. So,
and I think that from that perspective, I think that is a good thing, but I also think that it can be a bad thing because, again, someone said just a couple of days ago that we have this guard thing up, and that guard thing is there. Whether I agreed with everything that was said, I do agree with that part. We have this guard thing up because we've been hurt, and so because we don't want to feel that pain or that experience, we tend to be more protective of who we're letting in and how, and if there's any slight sign of someone that can possibly be like that person that have hurt us in the past, we're probably like,
I'm sure that someone has probably tried to
emulate
me in some sort of way.
Well,
but if they did, they must not have gotten close enough because I didn't realize.
I love that one. Or, it's just your pair of shoes is your pair of shoes. Not everyone can wear your shoes. They're made for you.
Exactly. And you know what? Honestly, if someone tried to do something similar to me, I think I'd be flattered.
Yes.
I really do. I mean, I think I'd be flattered that you paid that much attention to me, or you like what I did so much.
You had this one outfit on one day that you came with. I was like, girl, let me tell you. Now, I'm letting you know right now, Nicole, if I run across that at the store, I'm getting that outfit because it was so cute. Now, I'm telling you that, but that's not from a standpoint of wanting to one-up you.
Right.
That was like, dang,
right.
That's bad. That's different.
And sometimes, if people say that to me, sometimes, it's certain pieces that I have that I like so much that I'll share with you where I got it from because I love to find a deal.
That is me. I know they're sitting over here like, how is this conversation going there? We're just kind of all over the place.
Right.
That's candid conversation.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. If someone was that impressed with me that they have to emulate me or whatever, and it's not emulation whereas I want to one up her or whatever.
Yes
it is that they want to go out that they
Mm-hmm.
admire me, or they just liked what I had on, or they like what I did, that they want to do it themselves. Now if you keep on doing it, now that's a little scary. But
something else is going on.
Right, something else is going on.
Well, I'm going to take this thing and turn it a little more. We're going to talk about the internet influence.
Okay.
And how that influence is impacting women, us. When you look on social media, what would you say the impact has been on the way women interact and speak with others? I like that question.
My whole involvement with social media is a little different. I'm not a big social media fan. But my interaction with social media is that for one of my pages, I just look at fashion, hair, fashion, interior design. I do have some individuals that come across my feed. It's mostly positive things. Now, in the bed at night, I look at my husband's social media page because his is hilarious. I don't know what his is set to. The women, as far as the interaction, there's not much of a verbal interaction, but I'll tell you what I am seeing that is of major concern. Okay. What I'm seeing as a major concern is that women feel that it is, I don't know if it's a new thing or it's a must for them to shake their booty.
Come on.
I'm just going to say it like that.
On
social media for everybody. So I guess that's why Playboy and all these other magazines are
going out of
business now. Because you can find
it all on social media for free.
All plastered on social media for free. And I understand if you want to be an influencer, just putting on some clothes and it looking nice and you have a lot of followers or whatever. I understand you get all these followers, but I mean, come on now.
Naked, shaking your butt,
all over,
putting a thong
amongst other things. But it's not only women that are seeing that; everybody else is seeing that as well, and that's become the absolute norm.
I think it's becoming the norm because, unfortunately, they figured out how to make easy money.
That is true.
They have. It's another form of selling yourself. And it's not in a positive way, because when you're willing to, don't get me wrong, I do believe that there's definitely a very good market for influencers out there.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Hey, I'm here. No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But I do think as women, as ladies, we need to be conscious of what we're willing to be an influencer for.
That is true.
And when I see, because we have kids, we move on from that brand, but then now we put ourselves in this bucket, and that's all we can sell, and that goes back to the the tummy tucks and the butt lifts and the breast inductions, you know, all of that for the web.
Right. Now, for those other women who have businesses and they send out the motivational messages, and that's what comes across my page.
I love that.
Well, I do too.
I love it. It's so positive.
It is, and then they give the motivational messages. I really enjoy that because I learned some great things. I have some great messages that come across my page.
So it helps us to have positive affirmations for the day before we get started. Okay. All righty. Do you see women supporting each other, or is it mostly attempting to tear each other down?
I see a little bit of both. And I guess I'm not in the areas of a whole lot of women tearing each other down.
That has to do with your circle.
Right. Even though I've seen it throughout my travels, but I am in an environment where a lot of women support each other.
I agree. I think that, again, that goes back to your circle. You know, you become the company you keep. If you hang out with catty women and women tearing other women down.
As a matter of fact, I don't allow much negative energy into my circle. So if someone wants to bring in a whole lot of gossip to me, I'll listen to some funny things and some funny stories. But if you continually bring in negative stuff, I just can't take a whole lot of negative energy.
I got enough going on. I
have enough going on in my life. Some funny, some sad, some crazy. I don't have time for that catty stuff.
Can all this be said about women interacting in real life?
So I am old school. I prefer a face-to-face interaction versus an online text message, email interaction, because I think a lot gets lost in translation when you're online or any of those other types of communication.
Yeah, I had one of those fupas last night. I was tired, and someone sent me a text message, and I was in the bed, and they said, are you in the bed? It was 8:30, and can you talk? And my response was just yes. And so they called, and I'm like, yes? And they said, oh, I was just calling because you said, oh, they're going to hear this too. Oh, well. I was just calling because you said yes. And I was like, no, I was in the bed. So that's a prime example of what happens in a text message versus a conversation. Right. So I have to take responsibility because I was exhausted and I just gave that one-liner.
Right.
And so.
Right. Things can be misconstrued all the time in those messages. And by the time you know it, you're like, oh, man, you hit send, and it's gone. You're like, oh, man.
I knew when I sent that message, too. So if you're listening, you know who you are. I love you anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And, sometimes it leaves people wondering, hey, how do they really feel about me? Or
right. It's funny you say that. Sometimes even with my spouse, people that are closest to you, you have things going on. They're shooting you a quick message, and they're in the moment where they're needing a response or they're expecting it. They're not busy. So when you send something back off, it still can come off not the right way. And so for me, I find myself just stopping instead of responding to a text and calling because I don't want them to feel like I'm too busy for them.
And then sometimes, well, why did you call me? Why didn't you just text me? Well,
you probably wouldn't have liked what I said.
Exactly.
Understood what I was saying. Okay. What is the best advice you can give a young woman when it comes to reading negative comments about themselves online?
You need to realize that person may not know you. The message may be coming, especially if it's a bad message, it may be coming from a place of hurt, anger, or jealousy. Just never know where that that comment is coming from, why it's coming at you. So don't get in your feelings. I know it's hard when people are talking about you or even talking about your kids, and that's why I'm not on social media.
Right there,
I hate
yeah.
social media because they'll keyboard gangsters. That's what I like to call them, them keyboard gangsters.
They are.
You know, they hide behind that keyboard and they'll talk all types of trash about you, and they don't know you from Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they want to talk about your clothes or what you did or what you posted, and they have no idea about your situation. But you just keep on doing what you're doing. Just remember, that person doesn't know anything about you or your situation.
And I would take it even, and I agree with you 100%, and I would take it a little bit further. Be careful what you're posting out
That's
there.
true.
And, you know, I would almost say don't post anything out that you don't want to get a negative comment coming back, because there's always someone out there that can find something negative, even a picture, you know, but again, that's a reflection of them. So don't put your business out there. In my opinion, social media is not for that. So when you put something out there, you just have to take the attitude that I'm opening myself up for free game.
That's right.
So, and if you do get the negative comments, remember the person that's putting those negative comments is really reflecting of how they feel about themselves. Because if they really cared about you, they would pick up the phone, call you, or they'll have a way to contact you personally, and they definitely wouldn't want to see something hurtful or painful come your way.
And 9 times out of 10, if they're going to post something negative about you, they don't know you anyway.
They don't know you anyway. Exactly.
They don't know you anyway, and they just want you to hurt like they hurt.
And so their opinion of you really shouldn't matter.
It should not.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I know that this conversation, I've enjoyed it. I am just so grateful to have Nicole in my life. She's so easy to talk to, guys. Really, if you need to have someone to talk to, I'm not just putting her out there to just be putting her out there. I'm not pumping her up to pump her up. She is someone that I would advise if you're in a blended family, you're needing to talk to Nicole. Nicole is easy to talk to. She is your real life woman that is going to give it to you just like it is. You don't want to talk to Val. I'm not a life coach, no, really. Talk to Nicole. The people need to know. They need to know how to find you, and I would like for you to just share that with them.
So my website is talktonicole.com. You can email me at nicole@talktonicole.com. I am on social media.
Yes.
It's just look me up at Nicole Odom Hardnett at Talk to Nicole OH.
All right, then. It has been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've enjoyed this candid conversation, and I hope that you guys have too. Until next time.